when we fast, we're exercising our no muscle. And that's a very important muscle to exercise, because the world has made it such where it's just be lazy, just say yes all the time. It's so easy. The yes muscle, it's just second nature to us. But how often do we flex that no muscle?
Life is hard, but marriage doesn't have to be.
We're Aaron and April Au, marriage mentors and coaches. Yes, marriage is complex, and our selfish human nature both pulls and pushes us apart. But God has so much more for our marriages.
Thank you for joining us at the Living Marriages podcast, where we share stories of hope and learn how God wants to breathe His life, healing, and health into our marriages.
Thank you for joining us on the Living Marriages podcast. If you haven't had a chance yet, we'd love it if you would hit the follow button or subscribe button wherever you listen from. And if you haven't had a chance yet to give us a review, we would very much welcome that as well. And please do, if you've been enjoying the podcast, recommend us to your friends and family. Well, today we're continuing something we didn't know we were starting.
It's true. God just dropped this idea after we recorded the last episode.
Yeah, so 2 episodes ago, we're exploring this idea of how our devices can be a thief of intimacy, how our proximity, our almost addictions to our devices can really get in the way of intimacy between spouses in our marriage, but also intimacy with our children, for those of us who are parents. Just the ever-present distraction getting in the way of being present in relationships. And April, you kind of felt God saying, keep going with this idea of what else is robbing us of the joy and the fullness of life that God has for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing that came to mind for us is something that we've been working on recently, and that is looking at the ability to say no to things. And it's kind of this thief of satisfaction, the thief of Contentment, exactly. And so when we feel like we need to have more, that we don't have enough, if we're living in a scarcity mindset rather than the abundance that God does give us, we are always finding that we need more.
Yeah.
And it's our society. I mean, we have Amazon. How could we not click on Amazon day after day and just order things that just come to our door? It's a huge dopamine hit.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And same as our phones. Yeah. It is so hard to say no to something that is so easy and brings us such satisfaction.
Temporary satisfaction, though.
But we're still addicted to it.
Yeah. And so you and I went through a week together with some good friends of ours. And we felt God leading us to give this a try. I think you and I have tried it once before a long time ago, and I don't know why we never repeated it.
I think we did it a couple of times, but it
was. So what we did, it was in order to counter this thief of contentment, where we're always needing more or always just buying thoughtlessly things to satisfy an itch we didn't even know we needed to scratch or. That has been present, was to do what we called a no-spend week. And so we went for 7 days on a spending fast, essentially. And how did you find it?
It was really good. I'm going to be very honest. I'm a work in progress.
Me too.
I didn't actually purchase anything. I didn't spend any money. But I still put things in my Amazon cart.
Oh, it's too easy to do that.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I think because it's hard to let go of that it's an addiction. There's something for me that looking for things to buy and thinking about and imagining having those things. There's dopamine even in that. Yeah. Even not having received those things, the excitement of the possibility of having those things is also something that we need to confront.
Yeah, absolutely. And you and I were just doing a tiny bit of research before recording this, and Yeah, dopamine is present in just the simple act of looking, in the simple act of browsing. And they've, again, the people that have the technology and the know-how have made things in such a way to trigger those dopamine hits and to keep things ever present. And I don't know if you, our listeners, have ever had this, but you put something in your shopping cart, and certain websites where you do that, you'll get a reminder email a day later, 2 days later. Hey, are you still looking at?
We'll give you 10% off.
And maybe you'll also like this because this will give you the same satisfaction as this other thing that you were looking at. And so you can see how it's designed to maximize profit for the retailers, and it's designed to drain.
And I think part of it too is just how easy it is.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not just Amazon, how easy it is to just pop into Starbucks and get a coffee. How easy it is to, oh, well, you know what? I have no idea what to make for dinner today. Let's just get takeout.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, and we are the first to say, like, it does take planning in order to do a no spend week.
Yep.
And there might be things that come up that are necessities. Like if you need to get to work and there's no fuel in your car.
Buy fuel, please.
Yeah.
Or we had our friend who was doing this with us, our good friend, listens to the podcast. This is a shout out to you. She was saying, I ran out of washer fluid in my car, and it was a very slushy winter day. And we're like, please be safe. Go buy what you need to buy.
And that's to say that this is not about being legalistic.
Not at all.
It's more about the principle almost, right? Just the awareness of, am I simply saying yes because I'm used to things that are easy? Am I saying yes because I'm drawn into this desire for that dopamine hit? And am I able to say no? And we say no at other times too. If something is out of our budget or if it just doesn't seem like the right thing at that time, we say no at other times. But we were just talking before recording about how setting a certain amount of time where you know that within this week, whatever comes up, unless it's an absolute necessity, we are going to say no. And there's such relief in that.
There was
too.
freedom in that. That's what we found. And I think that's why, I mean, the practice of fasting has never made a ton of sense to me. And yet Jesus talks about it everywhere. And it's something that he invites us to. Matthew chapter 6 talks about how you should fast and the attitude you should take to it. It's not woe is me. Oh boy, look at how spiritual I'm being. And who aren't I amazing for not eating or spending this week? No, we just, us and some friends did this, and we prepared for it. We knew it was going to last for 7 days. And it was actually a joyful experience when we were doing it. There were times, like you said, again, where the old habits wanted to come in, the old muscle wanted to be flexed to just buy it. What's it going to do? It's just $10 or it's just $20 or whatever. It was so nice to just know that within that week, we didn't have to say yes to that. And our friends, Bob and Linda Loddick, had a podcast episode recently about the practice of fasting as being one of the spiritual disciplines, which really help in terms of even financial wisdom. And we'll put a link to that podcast episode in our show notes. But one thing Bob said, which I loved and stuck with me as we were doing our no spend week, he's like, when we fast, we're exercising our no muscle. And that's a very important muscle to exercise, because the world has made it such where it's just be lazy, just say yes all the time. It's so easy. The yes muscle, it's just second nature to us. But how often do we flex that no muscle? And
if we think about years down the road, I mean, our kids are pretty young right now. If we stick to something like this and we talk about it, what are we teaching our kids, right? Because they already, at the young age that they're at, have this yes muscle very well exercised.
Yeah.
And we do say no quite often. But for them to know that we actually are saying no too sometimes, because they think that we have all the money in the world and that we can just buy anything.
If only they knew.
But yeah, for them to recognize that, yes, we could buy that.
Mm-hmm.
We do have all of the things that we need and some of the things that we want. But that doesn't mean that we need to say yes all the time. It's actually good to learn to say no. We're teaching them that too.
Yeah. And to be honest, when we were doing our no spend week this past week, our kids knew it was going on. I didn't hear them complain.
No.
Maybe it helped that they were a little bit sick. But
and we didn't really go anywhere where they wanted things. That probably helped
that
too.
would be, yeah. But again, actually, that kind of changed our patterns too. We didn't end up going shopping because we forgot one thing in our grocery run last week. And then we didn't end up at Costco spending $300 more on things we didn't need just for that one thing. And so we just stayed out of the stores. And to be honest, I didn't miss it at all. The hustle and the craziness. We had to go back into Costco, the other day. And you're like, I'm not doing that again for a while.
No, it was on a Sunday.
It was on a Sunday.
Don't go to Costco on a Sunday.
But I think it was just, so I'm looking forward to our next no spend.
Me too. And I think
week.
Even just knowing that, because we're doing our no spend week at the last week of the month. And even knowing that has made me want to get into more of a routine of when do we go shopping? And we're working on meal planning. It's something that we haven't been great at.
If you have good tips, reach out to us. info@livingmarriages.com.
Yes. And so part of that, I think for me is, well, when are we going to go to Costco? We don't need to go every week. Maybe we go the first week and the third week.
Yeah.
And so I think even just putting that 1 week of no spend in place is also giving me a good framework for what the rest of the month can look like as well.
Absolutely. So if what we're talking about is kind of tweaking your interest, we encourage you to pray about it. Pray, ask the Holy Spirit for guidance. And if he is inviting you into this, find out what's going to work for you. Again, this is not a legalistic thing, but what we've learned, we can pass on. And there's a couple things we've learned. One is this takes planning. Don't just say, tomorrow we're not going to spend anything when you have an empty fridge. That doesn't work. So do your planning ahead of time. Figure out what you're going to eat for your no spend week so that your fridge can be filled with what you need. And then the other thing I think we'd say is if you can find friends to do it with, do it, because it's so great to have community around you when you're doing this, so you can talk to someone else and journey through it together.
And like I said earlier, this is not about perfectionism. And Aaron has said that too. Like, I still need to work on the fact that I was still shopping.
Without shopping.
Even if I wasn't spending.
Right.
Right? And that's where I'm starting. And maybe where you're starting is you decide on one thing. Maybe you go to Starbucks every day. Maybe for a week out of the month, you decide, I'm not going to go to Starbucks this week. Maybe that's how small you need to start. Who knows? But like Aaron said, pray about it. Ask God where he is asking you to start. And yes, it's going to be difficult.
Yep.
It's something new.
Yep.
You're, like we said, you're exercising and possibly a new muscle, that no muscle.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Yeah.
We believe in you.
If we did it, you can do it. Trust us. And again, have the positive vision in mind. That's what we talked about with the device habit as well. Why are you doing this? Think of the positive outcome that you're hoping for, the vision that God is giving you for what is possible in your marriage and in your relationship with your family. Will you gain from this, hopefully, a heart that is more content, that is more at peace, that doesn't feel like it's being pulled in so many different directions with whatever ads you're being bombarded with. Perhaps that's what the vision God is setting before you.
And also, as you're saying that, I'm thinking about the Starbucks thing again and how often we feel like we deserve something. Yeah. And so I remember years ago when I was teaching high school and I was not enjoying my job very much, I would reward myself with a Starbucks every morning on my way to work because I needed it. Because things felt hard. And I thought, well, at least I can reward myself with a Starbucks.
Yeah.
And so, pray about it. Consider, like, what is it that I think I'm getting out of this spending that is actually very short-lived, that is fleeting, that is satisfaction and contentment, that lasts as long as it takes you to drink a grande. Right?
Because those teenage kids were right there for you right after your grande.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be praying for you. We're a work in progress, and so we understand that everyone that's listening to this will be too.
Yeah. So join us for our Thursday Thought, where we'll provide some more space and time for reflection on this and an invitation to hear what God is calling you to. Until then, we're praying for you. God bless.
Thank you for the privilege of journeying with you today as we seek God's best for our marriages.
Before you go, if you've been blessed, challenged, or inspired by what you've heard today, please bless us by hitting the follow button, leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and sharing this podcast with family and friends.
You can also support this nonprofit podcast by making a charitable donation at our website, livingmarriages.com.
Until next time, praying the life, intimacy, and connection of God's love over you and your marriage.